Looking for a thread was the most important thing for me. Each time we began a scene, what we were doing is ratcheting up the tension.
You trust me, Jon Snow?
Does that make me a fool?
We're fools together now.
And the thread I found was that if you looked at the sequences as a whole, it was like somebody was getting a wet rag and going like that really, really slowly and soaking all the water out, and then at the end, you got my big action sequence.
Load of bones. Been a long time.
Last time I saw you, the little crow was your prisoner. The other way around now. What happened?
Whenever I read anything that's like a big battle sequence, is you got to treat it the same as you treat a dramatic scene. Is like, what's the story? Whose story is it? Whose point of view is it? I started by storyboard for about 3 weeks, and I storyboarded the entire sequence as written originally, which was huge, probably 2 or 3 times as big as the thing we actually shot. It suddenly became apparent that there was a whole section of it that didn't need to be there, that was there because we were playing to the idea of a battle.
Nice watch! With me! No!
What I was really interested in was it wasn't a battle, it was a massacre. And if you look at it as a massacre, all the pieces, the other pieces, the stuff that is so huge and the big sweeping shots and all that stuff started to fall away. From that, the idea came out, well, what if we also restricted the point of view? And so that's where the idea of the stockade fence came in. Because originally there wasn't a fence, and then there was a small little gate. So we need 15,000 whites, and we have 15 stuntmen. And the idea was to use that to funnel and restrict the flow of the whites into the main area, because if they really broke through, they'd kill everyone within 15 seconds, there would be no battle. The whites come to the fence, you hear it all, it's all about sound design, it's all about the reactions on our whites' faces, but it's not really something you see, you just catch these glimpses of them to start with, and we hold off from seeing the monster for as long as possible. So now the monster behind the door, the massacre, the point of view, the restrictive viewing, all of those things started to make sense, and they coalesced into what ended up being Hardhome. We had something that was shootable, and now we had something that utilised our limitations as strengths instead of weaknesses. It was very important to make them extremely fast, extremely aggressive. The idea of the whites is that they have a very simple purpose, which is to kill the living. Choose a target, go for it. It's an animal instinct. They don't have a brain. They're not necessarily a collective consciousness, but they are directed and informed by the White Walkers and by the Night King. We had to have these 2 guys fight when one of them was clearly much stronger than the other, and their swords couldn't touch for the entire fight or it was over. So it presented all of these challenges. Well, how can you actually have a fight if that's going to happen? Unless you get rid of his sword. And so that's what we decided to do very quickly, is try and get rid of Jon's sword so that there could be more of a cat and mouse chase rather than an out-and-out fight to which there'd be no match between the two. Really, the idea was create a force to be reckoned with, and also create a non-zombie version of the zombie, because they are dead. For Barry, it was about finding the right level of decomposition. There were many conversations about how to class the different whites. Green screen, extreme green screen, negative space whites, type A whites, type B whites, mid-decomps with negative space. Like, there's all of these different ones, and everyone had their own system of calling them a different thing. Essentially, the idea was to create different tiers so that what we could have is a vast array of whites and people in different states of decomposition that would ultimately be recognizable as our white army. And then when they kill all the wildlings, and at the end all the wildlings get up and the Night King has his new army, a whole new set of whites that we have. And the ability to differentiate between the two. I think the process of doing a battle sequence, it has to be collaborative. You have so many different people coming together, so many different parts. It's integral to the process that everybody gets involved, from special effects to production design to the DPs to the actors, to the extras. Everybody has to play a part and everybody has to feel a reward in it. Otherwise, for me at least, the process doesn't work. There's a rhythm to the writing that is very satisfying to listen to, it's very satisfying to work with, and it's very satisfying for the actors to play. You know, a good script is a good script, and you can't really beat it.